Well, it's a beautiful day here in Colorado. The sun is out. We had below zero temperatures over the last probably 3 days, but sun's come out and we've got 45-50 degrees in the sun. It feels quite a bit warmer. One of the I guess myths of Colorado, everybody thinks of the Rockies and oh man, you must get a lot of snow and it's cold, and part of that's true. They get a lot of snow up in the mountains, but here it's just kind of temperate most of the time. We get snow and then it'll melt off and you'll be about done. So today I am working on a tabletop that I'm building for my boss. So let's get to it. This tabletop is going to be made of ash. I'm coming in my very messy garage here, and I picked out from the local lumber yard here, or the local sawmill, this piece of ash, and we're going to cut it to size. I need 2 pieces out of it. You can see it's got some really pretty nice figuring in it, but we're going to cut it to size. Like I said, 2 pieces out of it, and then we'll get them finished up and cleaned up. You know, someday I'm gonna have a real shop, but for now my driveway is my shop, and so I end up having to put down pieces of wood to put my lumber on that I'm gonna cut. Just little scrap pieces of lumber that I have laying around, but I'll lay this thing down here and then bring out all my tools. So the specifications on this, it's supposed to be 52 inches long, the tabletop is, by 12.5 inches wide. So we're trying to mark from the skinniest part. This is going to be a live edge table. Trying to mark from the skinniest part here to 12.5 inches. Be right about there. So we'll cut out this piece, and then we'll have a 12.5 inch by 55 inch long slab to go on top of the table. So I've decided to take about 4 inches off of the end down here, and so I've marked it with the pencil. Got a line there, kind of see it, and we're going to start by setting the depth on our saw here. So first thing you want to do, you've got an adjustable depth here on the saw, and so you just take it down till it's just below where you want it to be, and then you tighten it up. So you can see that the teeth of the saw will be down below the bottom of the wood, and that'll allow us to get just the right amount without getting into the concrete. I've also set a block underneath to allow us to stay off of the concrete. You know, there's several different tool manufacturers that make something called a track saw, which is basically a track, go figure, that you put your saw on and you can run it down a piece of wood and it makes a nice straight line. Well, I don't have one of those. What I do have is a level, and as long as I get the level clamped down and in the right place, I can run my saw down it and it makes a nice straight cut. So I know I already measured this once, but now I'm measuring again, 52 inches, and get my level set up so I can cut a nice straight line there on the other end. You know, I consider myself a intermediate woodworker. I'm okay, but I'm not perfect.
I realized about here that as long as I measure about 1.25 inches, it's actually exactly 1.25 inches, off of my line, that my saw will cut 1.25 inches. I also realized that I put the clamp on the wrong side, so I had to move it to the other side.
Measure right and you cut right, you'll be right on 52 inches. That's exactly what we wanted. So I got it cut just perfect.
Once I got it cut to length, I needed to cut it to width, and measured it 14 inches and cut it 14 inches.
Be the tabletop for the desk that we're making. You can see here there's some voids in the wood. I'll fill those in with epoxy and get it sanded up nice and smooth. It's actually pretty smooth. I need to run it through the planer, get it sanded up, and it'll be a nice top.
Once I got the top all cut to size, and I needed to start working on the shelf that would go on the bottom of the table. And this was going to be only 44 inches long and 12.5 inches wide. So I'm just measuring it up here and marking a line. Just wanted to mention here, there is evidence that I can learn. I got both the clamps on the right side this time. Once I got the piece cut to length, then it was time to mark it up so that I could get it cut to width. This is a square piece, so just getting the level clamp down so we can get the long cut done. I realized on these longer cuts that it would probably be a good idea not to try and cut the whole thing in one pass. So I eased up on the depth of my saw and cut a nice line down there. Again, I need a shop where I can clamp these things down to a table while I'm cutting. You can see it moving, but I cut it most of the way through, and then just got the saw depth set and cut the rest of it.
And this will be a shelf that goes down underneath the table. So this turned out real good as well. I'm hoping this will be right. We're going to use this side as the bottom, then I don't have to fill this void. You can see this side is nice and clear. So the client wanted a shelf, a little backstop to go on that bottom shelf, and so this is going to be that backstop. We want a live edge on top of it, and on this end it's about 7 inches, and on the bottom it's about 4. And they were asking for about a 3-inch lip. So what we're going to end up doing is cutting a little bit of an angle here, coming up here, and we'll have a little bit of a triangle piece that comes off of that.
And I did the same thing on this one, just cut just shy of all the way full depth, and then came back and reset the depth and cut it all the way through. Once you're done working, it's important to get your tools put away. Otherwise, they won't be there when you go look for them later. Plus, my wife doesn't like them when I leave them laying out in the driveway. She backs her car over them, then nobody's happy. While I was working, the garbage man came and picked up the recycling, so I figured I'd take the bin to the back and put it away as well.
Well, all right, that's all we had for today. Just getting those pieces cut. I'll run them over to a buddy of mine who's got a 20-inch planer and get them planed down and smooth. And we'll have another video here where we're filling the cracks with epoxy, and then we'll get them delivered. So thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.